Alright, in this video what I'm going to talk about is to size or not to size. When you cast lead bullets, some people actually size them down. I mentioned before in another video that there's some equipment out there, lubricizers. It not only lubes your bullet for you, it sizes your bullet down. The Lee molds that I have all seem to throw the bullet out 1/1000ths over what the bullet is. The best way to determine whether you need to size or not is to slug your barrel, and it's a pretty detailed process. It's pretty easy, but I'm not going to get into that. There's a lot of information out there on slugging your barrel. So I know my barrel is exactly .400, and in my case the Lee molds that I'm using drop the bullet out at 4.401, so it's 1/1000ths over. You actually want your bullets, with lead bullets, you actually want them a little bit oversized, a little bit bigger than the barrel diameter. And the reason for this is if your bullet is smaller than your barrel size, what will happen is a thing called gas cutting. Because the bullet is smaller than your barrel, as it goes down the barrel, there's gaps, and what happens is the pressure goes around, the gases go around the bullet and actually cause more leading in your barrel. So oversized a little bit better. So again, in my case, my bullets are 4.401 and my barrel is .400. So I don't need to size with my 40 Smith & Wesson. Now, shooting lead bullets, no matter how careful you are and all the precautions that you take, you're still going to get a little bit of lead fouling, which is no big deal. You can buy a thing called the Lewis lead remover for, I think it's $34 online, and it's basically copper screens on a rod like this, and you force it down, it's like a cone, and you force it down your barrel. It takes all the lead out of the lands and grooves. Well, again, seeing I love to do DIY things, I have a little trick. You take your rod on a smaller bore brush. I use a 357 brass brush for my 40. I take Chore Boy and I wrap it around there. Now, if you're going to use the Chore Boy, make sure you use the copper and not the stainless. This will get all the lead out of your barrel. And because the copper is softer than your barrel, you won't damage your barrel. So what I do is I take a little Hoppy's power solvent, I dip the brush in and just ream the barrel out, and it seems to work really fine. Takes all the lead, or most of the lead, out of the lands and grooves in a couple passes, and you're good to go. Now, I know there's some people out there that actually will take a copper jacketed bullet after they get done shooting lead and shoot a few rounds through, which from all the research I've done is not a good practice, for the sole fact that if you have extreme fouling in your barrel, when that bullet travels out the barrel down the bore, it can cause high pressures to build behind that bullet. So from what I hear, it's really not a safe practice. This, however, a thing of Chore Boy, I believe cost me $2.85. I'm still using the original one I've had on here for about two months. I have about 2,000 rounds through that barrel, and it's still cleaning it. So there you go, guys. A little bit on sizing and a nifty little trick how to clean the leading out of your barrel. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Thanks.